Welcome to Newswatch, where we bring you news, views, and interviews that form the main news today. My name is Melissa Oduor. On the sign language is Boniface Muredi. Newswatch begins now. A section of religious leaders has called for the repeal of sections of the controversial Computer Misuse and Cybercrime Amendment Act. The clergy under the Church and Clergy Association say the bill denies all those depending on online platforms to earn a living, insisting if it proceeds, it may cause unrest in the country. The clergy have also taken a swipe at the religious bill of 2024, terming it as punitive, further calling on President William Ruto to intervene and have the bill dropped as it will greatly injure the operations of the church. Samia Dika begins our bulletin tonight.
Did so in a record time, and the bill was finally passed by the Senate and the National Assembly.
Barely 2 weeks after President William Ruto signed the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Amendment Act of 2024 into law, a section of religious leaders have joined the growing number of Kenyans challenging the law. The clergy under the Church and Clergy Association say lawmakers are not being considerate on the positive impact that the internet has had on the youth.
Hatukuwasikia wakijitokeza kusema kuna mswada ambao unapitisha usio sawa. Wasijifiche, wasikuje kudanganya wa Kenya. Waliungana kwa jambo hilo na wajue internet imeajiri vijana wetu. Wanapata pesa kupitia content na vitu kama hizo. Wanataka kurudisha Kenya nyuma. Wabunge walioko bungeni mmeangusha watu waliowachagua kwa kupitisha sheria ambazo hazina maana.
Referring to certain sections of the bill, the clergy say it will equally interfere with church operations, especially televangelism.
Mapendekezo mtaa msimi alikuwa ameweka pale, ndio wabunge wamezunguka wamekuja wameificha katika cyber crime bill. Alafu wanaweka fines ambazo ziko kali sana na vifungo za miaka mingi ili kuweza kutisha wahubiri wasiweze kufanya kazi yao kwa uhuru. Tunataka wajue tunapinga na hatutakubaliana nayo.
On the controversial religious bill of 2024, the men in cloth have urged President William Ruto to intervene and allow the bill's proposals to be made by the clergy countrywide.
Religious bill 2024 ambayo iko proposed, na tumegundua ya kwamba yale mapendekezo mtaa msimi alikuwa ameweka pale, ndio wabunge wamezunguka wamekuja wameificha katika cyber crime bill. Alafu wanaweka fines ambazo ziko kali sana na vifungo za miaka mingi ili kuweza kutisha wahubiri wasiweze kufanya kazi yao kwa uhuru. Tunataka wajue tunapinga na hatutakubaliana nayo.
The clergy have also urged Nyeri County Governor Mutahi Kahiga to resign following his statements on the passing of former Prime Minister Raila Odinga.
Remarks by Governor Kahiga Mutahi on the passing of Right Honorable Raila Odinga. He is not fit for leadership and should resign from the honorable position he holds. We urge other like-minded leaders to cease from such insensitive behavior and consider that Kenya must unite and achieve her destiny.
Despite mounting pressure from a section of Kenyans for the government to repeal the Computer Misuse and Cybercrime Amendment Act, President William Ruto has been vocal defending the bill, saying it is necessary in protecting family morals and online fraud. For Newswatch, I'm Sami Adika.
Thank you, Adika, for that report. President William Ruto has launched the construction of the Lanet B affordable housing project in Gilgil, Nakuru County, by laying its foundation stone. The initiative is a 2,100 unit that is envisaged to employ over 3,000 young people. Addressing residents, the president said the project will transform residents of Pipeline Estate, giving it the modern, organized and dignified face it has long deserved. The president has meanwhile announced that over 22,000 households will be connected with electricity. This as the government will give each of the 900 internally displaced families living in Donga and Kisima farms 20,000 shillings to resettle them.
Hawatoki Nairobi, watu hawatoki Kisumu, watu hawatoki Eldoret, watu ni Wanakuru wanafanya kazi katika hii mradi. Nasikizeni, tunajenga nyumba 2,100 ya kwanza hapa. Sawa sawa. Wakati tulifanya campaign, mimi na Susan na hawa wangwana, tuliwaambia tutasort out maneno yenu, muende kwa mashamba yenu. Si ndio? Hapo sasa tulisumbuliwa kidogo na mahakama. Kuna wakora walienda kotini wakasimamisha. Lakini sasa kesi imeamuliwa wiki iliyopita. Sasa nyinyi mambo yenu iko sawa. Mimi nawaambia, mimi tu nataka kujua kutoka kwenu, muko tayari kwenda kwa mashamba yenu? Mimi nataka niwaambie kwamba wakati tunaunganisha stima hapa, nimeambiwa watu wa Ndioni hapa hawana stima. Watu ya hapa wote wako na stima ni kidogo kidogo. Leo tumeanzisha mradi mkubwa ya kuunganisha stima watu wa Nakuru. Manyumba 22,000.
West Pokot political leaders led by members of the county assembly are now threatening to take action over what they term as unlawful, insightful remarks, I beg your pardon, by a section of Turkana leaders led by Turkana Governor Jeremiah Lomurukai and Turkana South MP John Ariko on the security situation along the West Pokot and Turkana counties border. This is after Governor John Lomurukai declared war on security forces operating along the West Pokot and Turkana counties border, accusing them of colluding with some political leaders from the West Pokot County to cause insecurity and instability around Kainuk area and its environs. On Monday, 4 people were fatally shot by suspected bandits believed to be from neighboring Turkana. West Pokot MCAs are now blaming Governor Lomurukai, saying his remarks have elicited mixed reactions and contributed to increased banditry activities. They say tension is building up following the incident as residents flee the area fearing for their lives following fresh attacks. The leaders are urging the government through the Directorate of Criminal Investigations DCI and the NCIC and other relevant authorities to move with speed and arrest all political leaders in the North Rift region, especially those from Turkana County, and charge them over their insightful remarks.
And we don't want you, Lomurukai, to discriminate against us Pokots that live anywhere within the borders. We want that commission to summon that governor, and after summoning, we want also you, the NCIC, to prosecute all leaders that do such utterances. We are getting information that a multi-agency operation team is heading to that place to conduct an operation. We are not opposed to any kind of operation, but we are saying, as leaders, let's be informed of any action that is going to be taken that is within those areas.
We are really perplexed by what is happening at the border between Turkana and the Pokot, given that the utterances of our leaders have activated war against our people. We are very sorry to learn that the utterances are given by a very senior person who is supposed to be trusted by the people to be a peacemaker. But instead, he is the one who is instigating a lot of war between our people. I don't know where the fun is when we kill our people or when we have our people kill each other. Because if a governor of the caliber of Lomurukai can talk about I'm going to beat a security officer.
Say wa amani katika mipaka. Hiyo kasi ilikuwa ikiendelea vizuri na kuanzia upande wa Kamelokon kwenda upande wa Chesekon kuelekea upande hiyo inaendelea vizuri. Kwa hivyo hii na amani ilikuwa imetokea ya kutosha. Lakini tunashangaa wakati kiongozi, a whole governor, na wale viongozi wengine wanaongea mbaya na hatujasikia kama wameshikwa.
In Eldoret, the hearing of a case in which 4 men are accused of killing 24-year-old businessman Samuel Ngoko Migiro, whose body was found dumped in River Kipkaren on the outskirts of the town earlier this year, has begun. The Eldoret High Court was packed with family members as residents and human rights activists as the murder trial opened before Lady Justice Emily Ominde. First to take the stand was a protected witness who gave a detailed account of how Migiro was attacked at his Kipkaren estate home by a gang of armed men before being dragged away and later found dead. The court has heard that the assailants were armed with machetes, bows and arrows and heavy clubs during the attack. The witness identified the four accused: Dennis Kiptor, Elvis Kiptanui, Abiud Barkutwa and Cornelius Keter, as part of the group allegedly behind the killing. A post-mortem conducted by pathologists from the Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital revealed that Migiro sustained multiple injuries before being thrown into the river while still alive. The cause of his death was confirmed as drowning due to blunt force trauma. Investigators say the brutality of the assault suggests the young businessman struggled with his attackers before dying. The hearing for the case continues tomorrow, Thursday. To neighboring Tanzania now, police have imposed a 6 p.m. nationwide curfew following a tense polling day marked by protests and unrest in several parts of the country. Internet services were shut down while several people were injured during protests. President Samia Suluhu Hassan of the ruling Chama cha Mapinduzi party is seeking a second term in Tanzania's general elections, facing 16 challenges after the National Electoral Commission disqualified main opposition candidates like Chadema's Tundu Lissu on treason charges and ACT Wazalendo. In the capital, Dar es Salaam, polling stations remained largely empty amid youth-led vandalism, boycotts, clashes with police, and a nationwide internet blackout that restricted communication. Multiple roads in Mbeya, including sections of the Dar es Salaam Tunduma Highway, were blocked as Tanzanians lit bonfires, erecting barricades in defiance of President Suluhu's regime. And in Zanzibar, elections kicked off on Tuesday, with the presidential polls being conducted today. Items, don't go too far. Our interview is also scheduled with three very formidable young people from the African International University discussing Gen Z and leadership. Don't go too far.
Get ready for an unforgettable worship experience. Every Sunday on Ultimate Worship. Where we bring you live music, powerful praise, and anointed gospel ministers and bands. Join us every Sunday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. with a repeat at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Everywhere I go, I see you right there.
It's not just music, it's worship unleashed. It's ultimate worship.
You're too faithful to fail me.
Only on Hope TV, where you look and live.
Hi, my name is Sharon Aitore Wangenya. Thank you so much for being one of our viewers. We truly honor you and appreciate you. We'd love to know how you're receiving us, how your reception is in terms of the quality of the video and the audio as well. So please scan this QR code and give us your feedback. Thank you and God bless you.
We're looking at business news now. The government has set aside 20 billion shillings towards the construction of the infrastructure at the Naivasha Special Economic Zone. Making the announcement, President William Ruto said the SEZ will be Kenya's new industrial zone with an additional 5-acre land allocated towards its construction that aims to make it a model green industrial city in Africa. The Special Economic Zone aims to enhance the ease of doing business and enable investors to thrive within a world-class industrial environment. The president has also urged the youth to plug into the projects and secure jobs, especially in the affordable housing projects. He also encouraged them to secure funding under the Nyota initiative to grow their businesses. A look at sports now. The road to the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup in Brazil has begun for the national women's soccer team Harambee Starlets after they beat Gambia 1-0. The score translating to a 4-1 on aggregate. The winning books the team for the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations WAFCON in Morocco. While congratulating the team, President William Ruto said it was a glowing testament to their discipline, talent and their indomitable spirit, and said he will honor his 1 million shilling pledge for each player. NEC member Kerubu Momanyi and FKF Vice President MacDonald Mariga have spoken and lauded the government for supporting the Starlets. Now, when the Hamas terrorists attacked the Israeli partygoers at the annual Nova Festival on the 7th of October 2023, a few lived to tell their story of survival. 29-year-old Maya Pariza is among those who have lived to tell the story and travels the world now to narrate the narrow escape that left 12,000 dead and 251 hostages. While 2025 has marked a new dawn to the full-scale war that broke out between Palestine and Israel with the release of hostages, Maya says it is time the world stops turning its back to the atrocities and anti-Semitic sentiments against Israel and frees Palestine from Hamas captivity to allow it to rebuild its beautiful nation. Here's that story.
In the Nova Festival, more than 300 beautiful souls were murdered, raped to death, dismantled. They cut their parts, cut their private parts, and just enjoyed themselves. This is something I couldn't even believe could exist in 2023. And the worst part is they filmed it all.
29-year-old Maya Pariza has been traveling to different countries to narrate her story of survival.
When we went to dancing, it was amazing. The decoration was brought from a big festival that took place in Brazil. And there was DJs from all over the world playing amazing music. And I don't know if you've seen some videos, but it was more than 3,000 young people like me, but also bigger, younger families. Everyone is welcome in those kind of festivals. You're not judged by your clothing. You are not judged by the way you wear. No one is, everyone is respectful of personal space. So
Maya, like 3,000 other Israeli, was a partygoer at the Nova Festival on the 7th of October 2023. The merriment that punctuated the party was palpable, and no one was thinking of any danger until disaster struck.
For a long time. Even though sometimes the people that live in the Gaza border sometimes did receive rockets and missiles from Gaza throughout the years. And when it started, I just remember I was paralyzed by fear, because I understood that it's just keeping to come, and we do have a technology, amazing technology, called Iron Dome, where they intercept the missile in the sky and prevent it from falling on us, on the citizens. Israel is putting a lot of money to use this defense technology. Each rocket, each Iron Dome intercept cost $1 million. So it's a lot of money they use to protect us, yes. And they started to intercept, but when you see so many, You understand that statistically speaking, you are in an open space, you're not prioritized. It might fall on you. And I started to have problems with breathing, and I didn't hear, and I was experiencing a panic attack, anxiety. And I remember Ron, who was next to me, trying to calm me down, and other friends, but I couldn't really listen because I've never seen this amount. It wasn't like how we've gotten grown to, like 5-10 missiles. It was like hundreds. It kept on coming.
Maya, who was accompanied by her husband to the party, made a daring dash to their car onto the highway, only to encounter several blockages. Calling the police was also not helpful. An instinctive turnaround towards the sound of gunshots became their saving move in the middle of the chaos.
Seeing something on the road from afar, and then Ron and the other guy are saying, someone died here, girls, don't look. And I remember just a glimpse for a second, and I turned my head. And at that moment, I assumed, I don't know if someone made the call to the police. I will call the police. And as I'm trying to call the police and no one is picking up, which is not normal. In Israel, the police picks up in seconds. We start hearing gunshots. We don't know where they're coming from. And Ron is yelling, there's a terrorist. And he just pulls up the gas and continues to drive fast. And we're not seeing where it's coming from. Now we know that it's coming from where we're driving to. But luckily they missed our car and us, and we survived. And then we keep on driving. I think there are 2 or 3 cars before us. And we're panicking. And I'm still trying to call the police. No one is picking up. Ultimately, after a while, they picked up and they couldn't even offer any help. That was at least 10 calls. And we're starting to cry and to be hysterical. And the guys are already, they didn't think it was this number, this amount. They didn't even think they came from Gaza. They thought sometimes Israel is enduring terror attacks from Arab citizens or from citizens escaping the West Bank. Citizens with equal rights, with blue passport that enjoy same rights as us, and they sometimes commit suicide or just terror act. And so they thought it was probably the same. And the IDF will come quickly, deal with it, and we should just calm down and everything will be okay. But I didn't.
Maya's search for her friends yielded heartbreaking reports, some of which she has been forced to live with years on.
At first, we even thought they were abducted. Eitan and Amit's memory, their trauma, just pushed away their images of how they died. We don't know if they died from the grenades. We don't know if they died from the shooting. But after 5 or 6 days where they analyzed the remainings of the persons in the shelter, they discovered that they were killed there, brutally. I was so nervous to see all of them to be alive. I was so scared because there wasn't a single proof for many of them. The Red Cross, the UN humanitarian aid force that came in Israel, came across the world to check up on hostages so it can be fixed through diplomatic ways. They didn't see the hostages once. They didn't even make sure that they have access to medication once. Maya Regev's feet, when she was abducted, was attached to her the wrong way. When she was brought to Israel, they were losing a lot of their weight. They were suffering. Some of them didn't see a light of day for more than 2 years. And the thing that hurts me the most is to see how quickly the world doesn't believe.
The effects of the whole ordeal definitely left Maya scarred, with sleeplessness and therapy needed.
To see the vision, I was scared for my friends. At that time, I didn't even see them. I knew they were still recovering in the hospital, and I felt guilt for having them to come to the festival, for not reaching them when it all started. I was feeling a lot of guilt, and I started to do PTSD therapy. And we established that talking and being active, like I shared about my story, is something that is helping me. And I just made a video in my Instagram about what happened, and it got viral. And I was asked from countries all over the world to share my story from my home. And then I was asked for, there was a message moving around for asking for American citizens and that survived the Nova Festival or the Kibbutz massacre to come to speak to high-positioned Congress and senators in the White House and diplomats. It was 10 days after October 7th. And I don't know how I decided to do it, but I just decided that I have to help the hostages, and this is better than to sit home and still be...
While good things are known to come out of bad experiences, Maya used her experience to sensitize the world on what was happening. She has since been called to different platforms to share. Kenya is one of them.
Because I want to talk to the people in Kenya. I want them to see that I know that there is a conflict, and I feel empathy for all of the lives, all of the innocent lives, all of the casualties. But this cycle of death needs to end. We're in 2025. This violence shouldn't take any place. Violence towards women, rape, execution, murder. It needs to be stopped. Then we can proceed to peace. And I am here hopeful, choosing life every single time. Even the hostages, when they were brought back after 2 years of not seeing a day of light, the first thing they did was smile and wave to the world. Because we, all the time that something bad happens to us, we choose to be productive, we choose to be positive, we choose to carry on the light, to carry on the life. Israel has suffered such great atrocities throughout the years. This is by far the worst, and the Jews suffered great atrocities in the world in the previous centuries, and every single time we get up to our feet and we choose to be productive, we choose to have the best technology, we choose to bring good to the world. And we need the world to see that. The world is being misinformed.
On the 9th of October this year, US President Donald Trump brokered a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas based on a 20-point peace plan that included immediate cessation of hostilities and release of hostages by Hamas, both living and dead. Israel was also to release nearly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners, a move Maya says will now allow Gaza to be freed from Hamas so that it can be rebuilt.
We will be targeted because we are Jews. I don't see anyone else being blamed personally for their crimes. I don't see any Russians being accused of their crimes of the country, or Ukraine, from China, from all over the world, from Somalia. Like, I don't see people being accused of their country's crime. And for some reason, anti-Semitism is justified, is excused. People are saying this is a resistance of act. This is just another outcome of a genocide. This is another, this wasn't just putting a gun to you and shooting. This wasn't taking a hostage and putting in prison. This was psychology, torment. This was psychology and barbaric execution of people. This was a terror attack. This needs to be said out loud, that Hamas is a terror organization. They cannot be the face of Gaza. I want Palestine to be free from Hamas first, and then they can have their amazing country that they need to have.
For Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Melissa Oduor.
Get ready for an unforgettable worship experience.
Hakuja kuwa, hakutakuwa. Niwe mi, nina hitaji. Mimi nataka ushirika na wewe.
Every Sunday on Ultimate Worship.
Ainuliwe Mungu wetu. Maana wewe
we bring you live music, powerful praise, and anointed gospel ministers and bands.
Nashangilia Mwokozi.
Join us every Sunday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. with a repeat at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Everywhere I go, I see you right there.
It's not just music, it's worship unleashed. It's ultimate worship.
You're too faithful to fail me.
Only on Hope TV, where you look and live.
What if your pain had a purpose? What if your past was just a beginning of a greater story?
Gotten to another level because now I could not do anything without it, and now it became like a poison. I take it today, it grounds me for 3 more days.
If I had not read the Bible, when I read the Bible, it just confirmed all the more that I had an encounter with the Lord, because I told him, Lord, why have you come to me?
From the streets to the sanctuary, from the prison yard to the pulpit, real people are sharing the power of God's transforming love. No matter where you've been, God can rewrite your story.
So I got him, I just called, and by luck, he picked up the phone. I explained everything and what I was feeling.
Wow.
He started praying in tongues immediately over the phone, and that thing, whatever it was, it stopped.
Join me, Sharon Aitore Wangenye, for Testify every Thursday at 8 p.m. as we listen through the journey of hope, healing, and redemption through the voices of people just like you.
And when you're running away from God, there's only the fire you can run.
Yeah.
I stand here as a witness that God catches up.
These aren't just stories, they are testimonies. Don't just watch, testify.
Rafiki soul is the promise of a hand that reaches and goes beyond what angaza tumaini kote. I'm forever grateful. Ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. I'm forever grateful. Ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. Rafiki soul is a promise of a hand that reaches and goes beyond watangaza tumaini kote. I'm forever grateful. Ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. I'm forever grateful. Ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. Rafiki msoul.
Friends of Hope, keeping hope alive. Welcome to the world of Hope Media, a media unit of Christ is the Answer Ministries that is committed to spreading the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ through the transformative power of media. Hope Media is dedicated to utilizing various forms of media to spread the message of hope, love, and redemption to all people around the world. Hope Media consists of various units that work together to achieve this goal. These units include Hope FM. Hope FM is your #1 Christian radio station offering you discussions on current day-to-day issues, inspiring music, life-changing sermons, and news updates, broadcasting 80% in English and 20% in Swahili, with listenership of over 12 million every month. Hope TV. Hope TV programming is designed to inspire, educate, and challenge the viewer with wholesome content to reach various demographic groups, children, youth, and adults, both male and female, with viewership of over 24 million every month. Hope Recording Studios. Hope Recording Studios is a state-of-the-art recording facility that offers high-quality recording, mixing, and mastering services. It is designed to meet the needs of musicians, artists, and other creative professionals who require top-notch recording facilities. Hope Creative. At Hope Creatives, we believe that inspiring graphic design work doesn't just happen. It takes the right people with wild, out-of-the-box ideas committed to the same ideals, working together to make it happen. We listen, we learn, we brand. Hope Digital. Hope Digital is a creative digital unit within Hope Media. We are driven by a passion to creatively express ourselves while influencing you with the same creative energy in online spaces and beyond. At Hope Media, we believe that media can be a powerful tool for spreading the message of hope as well as grow your business through advertisements, and we do this with excellence. For more information regarding our services, please visit www.hopemediakenya.org or call us on 0709 861 180. Hope Media. We keep hope alive.
Get ready for an unforgettable worship experience.
Hakuja kuwa, hakutakuwa. Niwe mi, nina hitaji. Mimi nataka ushirika na wewe.
Every Sunday on Ultimate Worship.
Ainuliwe Mungu wetu.
Where we bring you live music, powerful praise, and anointed gospel ministers and bands.
Nashangilia Mwokozi.
Join us every Sunday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. with a repeat at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Everywhere I go, I see you right there.
It's not just music, it's worship unleashed. It's ultimate worship.
You're too faithful to fail me.
Only on Hope TV, where you look and live.
What if your pain had a purpose? What if your past was just a beginning of a greater story?
Gotten to another level because now I could not do anything without it, and now it became like a poison. I take it today, it grounds me for 3 more days.
If I had not read the Bible, when I read the Bible, it just confirmed all the more that I had an encounter with the Lord, because I told him, Lord, why have you come to me?
From the streets to the sanctuary, from the prison yard to the pulpit, real people are sharing the power of God's transforming love. No matter where you've been, God can rewrite your story.
So I got him, I just called, and by luck, he picked up the phone. I explained everything and what I was feeling.
Wow.
He started praying in tongues immediately over the phone, and that thing, whatever it was, it stopped.
Join me, Sharon Aitore Wangenye, for Testify every Thursday at 8 p.m. as we listen through the journey of hope, healing, and redemption through the voices of people just like you.
And when you're running away from God, there's only the far you can run.
Yeah.
I stand here as a witness that God catches up.
These aren't just stories, they are testimonies. Don't just watch, testify.
Rafiki soul is the promise of a hand that reaches and goes beyond what angaza tumaini kote. I'm forever grateful. Ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. I'm forever grateful. Ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. Rafiki soul is a promise of a hand that reaches and goes beyond what angaza tumaini kote. I'm forever grateful. Ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. I'm forever grateful. Ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. Rafiki msoul.
Friends of Hope, keeping hope alive. Welcome to the world of Hope Media, a media unit of Christ is the Answer Ministries that is committed to spreading the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ through the transformative power of media. Hope Media is dedicated to utilizing various forms of media to spread the message of hope, love, and redemption to all people around the world. Hope Media consists of various units that work together to achieve this goal. These units include Hope FM. Hope FM is your #1 Christian radio station offering you discussions on current day-to-day issues, inspiring music, life-changing sermons, and news updates, broadcasting 80% in English and 20% in Swahili, with listenership of over 12 million every month. Hope TV. Hope TV programming is designed to inspire, educate, and challenge the viewer with wholesome content to reach various demographic groups, children, youth, and adults, both male and female, with viewership of over 24 million every month. Hope Recording Studios. Hope Recording Studios is a state-of-the-art recording facility that offers high-quality recording, mixing, and mastering services. It is designed to meet the needs of musicians, artists, and other creative professionals who require top-notch recording facilities. Hope Creative. At Hope Creatives, we believe that inspiring graphic design work doesn't just happen. It takes the right people with wild, out-of-the-box ideas committed to the same ideals, working together to make it happen. We listen, we learn, we brand. Hope Digital. Hope Digital is a creative digital unit within Hope Media. We are driven by a passion to creatively express ourselves while influencing you with the same creative energy in online spaces and beyond. At Hope Media, we believe that media can be a powerful tool for spreading the message of hope as well as grow your business through advertisements. And we do this with excellence. For more information regarding our services, please visit www.hopemediakenya.org or call us on 0709 861 180. Hope Media, we keep hope alive. Join John Carson every weekday as he takes us on a journey through the Bible.
Whoever shall seek to save his life, if you go back to living for yourself, you're going to lose it. But whoever shall lose his life, give up his life for my sake, he shall preserve it.
Enjoy interesting, knowledge-packed, yet simple teachings through his humor and in-depth understanding of God's Word.
The last people that tried to put God in a box, literally, he rose again. He wouldn't stay in their compartment. If God was small enough for me to figure out, he wouldn't be big enough for me to worship.
Tune in to Hope TV for John Carson every 10 p.m., 4 a.m., and 10 a.m. weekdays on Hope TV, where you look and live.
Hi, my name is Sharon Aitore Wangenye. Thank you so much for being one of our viewers. We truly honor you and appreciate you. We'd love to know how you're receiving us, how your reception is in terms of the quality of the video and the audio as well. So please scan this QR code and give us your feedback. Thank you and God bless you.
Wake up every morning to an exciting moment of worship. With a powerful inspiration from God's Word.
Psalm 84 verse 4 says, "Blessed are those that abide, that dwell in the house of God." The blessing is on those that dwell, those that abide. They have made the house of God their abode.
The kingdom of God is already with us in the present time we are in, but it will also be fully realized at the end of the age. But the kingdom has been prepared by God.
On Hope Devotion every Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Only on Hope TV, where you look and live.
Get ready for an unforgettable worship experience. Every Sunday on Ultimate Worship. Where we bring you live music, powerful praise, and anointed gospel ministers and bands. Join us every Sunday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. with a repeat at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Everywhere I go, I see you right there.
It's not just music, it's worship unleashed. It's ultimate worship.
You're too faithful to fail me.
Only on Hope TV, where you look and live.
Are you ready now?
What if your pain had a purpose? What if your past was just a beginning of a greater story?
Gotten to another level because now I could not do anything without it, and now it became like a poison. I take it today, it grounds me for 3 more days.
If I had not read the Bible, when I read the Bible, it just confirmed all the more that I had an encounter with the Lord, because I told him, Lord, why have you come to me?
From the streets to the sanctuary, from the prison yard to the pulpit, real people are sharing the power of God's transforming love. No matter where you've been, God can rewrite your story.
So I got him. I just called, and by luck, he picked up the phone. I explained everything and what I was feeling.
Wow.
He started praying in tongues immediately over the phone, and that thing, whatever it was, it stopped.
Join me, Sharon Aitore Wangenye, for Testify every Thursday at 8 p.m. as we listen through the journey of hope, healing, and redemption through the voices of people just like you.
And when you're running away from God, there's only the fire you can run.
Yeah.
I stand here as a witness that God catches up.
These aren't just stories, they are testimonies. Don't just watch, testify.
Rafiki soul is the promise of a hand that reaches and goes beyond what angaza tumaini kote. I'm forever grateful. Ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. I'm forever grateful. Ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. Rafiki soul is a promise of a hand that reaches and goes beyond what angaza tumaini kote. I'm forever grateful. Ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. I'm forever grateful. Ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu.
Get ready for an
Welcome to this segment where we're doing the youth quick and discussing all matters Gen Zs and leadership. My name is Melissa Oduor, just in case you want to check, because I have 3 essays on stage with me from the Africa International University to delve into this conversation, Gen Zs and leadership. My far end, he's from Nigeria. He has the first S. He's going to tell us his name.
Okay, Samaila James Futu. That's the name. Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
The Vice President of the Students' Council, newly elected, fresh from the kitchen, right here with us today, Sharon Emma Karibu Sana.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for gracing our screens. And congratulations for the new role. Yes.
Thank you.
Then from Sitam Buruburu with all the love from the African International University, Stefan Musembi. Karibu Sana.
Thank you. Nice to have each one of us joining in. I'm also glad to be here. Let's go.
So it's true that Gen Zs are taking over, and we have seen you guys do crazy things. As late as tonight, they are rocking matters in Tanzania, and they have protested violently against the rule of the incumbent president as the people head to the polls. And so I think my first question would be to you, James, from the Nigerian point of view. The moment you had Kenyans take to the streets last year, I think the first countries that were like don't do what they're doing. It was Nigeria. How was the approach, and why are you guys so averse to what is happening in Kenya? Is it true that you're averse?
Yeah, for me, thank God, last year I was here during the Mandamano.
Yes.
And I saw what really happened that very moment. And when that happened, people from my country, Nigeria, were like, how can, Kenya Gen Z can do so much, put more power, strength, in this protest that even the government actually was like, who are these people?
They're faceless, they're tribal,
faceless, leaderless, and whatever. So for us, it was like, this is a new revolution in Africa. And some of us actually were like, okay, what happened in Kenya? Can this really happen here in Nigeria? So, but for me, it was an eye-open for all of us in Africa, and we have learned greatly from the Kenya Gen Z, and may the Lord continue to bless them. For me, they did really well. And myself, as their elder brother, I'm happy for what really happened.
Would you enjoy it if it happened in your country today?
When it comes to what happened here in Kenya, so the population of Nigeria, now we are talking about a country that is maybe 5 times bigger than Kenya in number. So maybe it may be easy for the Kenyan to come together, to be able to push their cause, as team. But when it comes to Nigeria, first thing first, what are we protesting for? And why are we protesting? So who are the leaders?
That must be important for you in Nigeria, who the leaders are and what is being protested against.
Yes. Then in Kenya, one thing I realized, these guys actually, they were not religion-minded people. Religion-minded in the sense that they don't care who is on the top. For them, something is going on wrong. And we want our leaders to work on it. They don't care whether Muslim or Christian. But in Nigeria, religion is part of the Nigerian people. First thing, if the man on the top is a Muslim, the Muslim will say, why are we protesting while our own is on the top? Whatever he's doing, I'm okay.
So it takes...
whether he is doing good or not, for us, he's okay. Some part will say, he is a Christian on top, will protest. So we are divided. Well, the Kenya were united. That was the difference.
Stefan, are you hiding behind numbers? Because it seems like it's a number thing. So are we just marshalling up and just going regardless of who's there? And are we hiding behind numbers as Gen Zs?
I think for Kenya, the unique setup was behind closed doors, there was this generation that was slowly creeping up on people. And for a while, because we had a generation that was in power that was from the older regime, they were not as focused on this new breed that was coming up. So they were there, they were quiet up until they could not hold back anymore. Because the assumption is that the Gen Z movement was a bunch of rowdy kids throwing a tantrum. But the truth is, it was people, young people growing up, who were paying close attention to what was happening in a nation whereby the leadership seemed to have been cracking. There was a compromise in the religious sector. Almost every project was not going right. Corruption was rising. They would see their parents going through that struggle, and they were silently watching, silently taking it in. But at some point, I think they reached a breaking point. And so in their masses, they decided to register their presence. we've been silent, we've been quiet, but no more. So in a way, I think it was not a cry for help as such, but a cry for justice. It was people who got tired of the system sitting on their parents, breaking promises on top of promises, and using them. When we're thinking about numbers, they were being used as statistics. So that when a leader is standing on a platform, they're using their numbers to advocate for their positions. So it's kind of like they are a soft cushion we can sit on, but we will never acknowledge it is there. So it was more of that. It was, their numbers are only relevant when I'm giving a speech. Relevant when we want the people to vote us in. So for me, I think that is what really was going on.
I want to throw that to Sharon. You mentioned to me something that you observed when you're growing up, how the generations were handling crisis and that kind of thing that has now brought up the agitation that the Gen Zs has picked up. Maybe you want to share a bit about that, because Musambi says we're not hiding behind numbers. It's issues that we're looking at, and we're not very sure we like the way the other generation was handling.
I think, first of all, I feel very honored to be here and to share our opinions, and I hope I make my people proud. So, about the numbers, first of all, it's not hiding behind numbers, but I think the numbers are an actual representation of the opinion of the majority. So if people show up in numbers and they're all saying the same thing, we need clarity, we need accountability. It's not that they're just there because they don't have a concert to attend. It is, they have set time apart out of every other thing they would be doing, and they're prioritizing. And the other thing is, you asked about the observation growing up. So we are the generation that got a little glimpse of pre-digital, and majority of our upbringing was with TVs, computers, mobile phones. And unfortunately, in the Kenyan history, we are also the generation who we were really small and helpless during the unfortunate 2007 post-election violence. So we could see how leadership, governance can really impact people, families, to a personal level. And at that time we didn't have a say, and we were looking up to the people older than us. We're like, okay, this is happening, what will you do about it? So when it came to a time when you've been given your ID, you've been told, now you can vote, now you can share your opinions, now you can do things. We're like, wait, during that time, I didn't have the ability to do anything about my circumstance. Now that I have a voice, I will speak up more than what the people who are adults back then did. And there's a lot of, obviously, a level of naivety because we are young, but there's also a great level of brilliance because we are educated. So we are the people who are saying, show us the evidence. We want to see the actual papers. We read the bills. We understand the systems. And though it's not everyone who has the same level of understanding, it's a cumulative effort, because everyone can say, okay, you're a lawyer, you read, you're a comedian, translate it in a way that is funny, that can reach the masses. You have time, walk door to door doing the civic education. And you see that unity is what is being now reflected in our successful protest. But even the protest, we look at it as a heroic moment, and it was, but we also have to acknowledge that it was a very challenging season because lives were lost. The reality is that people's children died, and change may have been felt, but the goal of actual accountable leadership was not fully achieved.
So if the goal of actual accountable leadership was not achieved, if you are to be given that role, you are supposed to be leading as Gen Zs, taking over. You have taken over. Whatever you are agitating for, you have been given. So then what would you do differently? How would you lead differently? Considering that we have these generations that are trying to understand what it is that you people are doing, and they're not really getting it. So in the electoral space, what would you do differently?
Yeah, you know, I think there are many rules about how to be human.
Yeah.
And that has been, like, I don't know, when I was growing up, there were these magazines, and sometimes they have, like, there's sections where they tell you how to behave in an interview, or how to make friends, how to, there's a how-to, a lot of how-tos. And in as much as they are helpful, I think we're a generation where we are allowing ourselves to, there's a standard set of values, but you can do it in your own way. So the the thing that I think irks many people in the, especially in, like, in the workplace or in how we express ourselves, is they don't listen. But really, if they don't listen to your pattern of communication or to your language, you also don't want to listen to their way of communicating. So how can we do it in such a way that we are open to, at the end of the day, what is the goal? So the thing, if I was in a position of leadership, I think the basic like level, the lowest level of what the Gen Z common language is accountability and transparency.
Do you understand that language, James? Because for your country, you're talking religion. And if the religion factor is not taken into consideration, it kind of like breaks the dichotomy.
Yeah.
Is that a language that you understand? What Emma is saying?
Yeah. For me, from this context, the Gen Zs actually, they know what they are doing.
So we're accepting they know what they're doing.
Yes.
Okay.
And probably sometimes you may have, you know, an idea about doing something. But the question is, do you have power? You know, to be able to execute that which you want to do. So I believe the Gen Zs, we were taught, even in our churches sometimes, that we just believe in yourself. With that idea, Gen Zs believe that they can, you know, be on top and they can bring that change. But this has been happening for long. That sometimes even the people, young people, we believe they can. Do bring some changes out there. They will join the bad wagons, you know, and we're not able to even give us what we expect from them. So for me, the language is clear. It's very clear, but can the race of the people understand? Are they on the same page with the race of the generations? You know, that's my
that's a
take on
disconnect.
it.
Stefan, yeah, leaders are born, some leaders are made, power is grabbed, power is given. So when Gen Zs are looking at power and leadership, how are they looking at it? Is it something they need to grab and take over because the approach has been, let's go and agitate for better leadership, and we don't want you, get out. So is it grabbed? Do you wait like other generations to be given over? And why is it that Gen Zs look at it like if we are to ask you to wait to be given over, wait for 2027, I will exit the seat and then you can now, you know, why aren't we hearing that language as Gen Zs? Why isn't the Gen Z accepting that language?
I think picking up from what Sharon was saying, we've touched on the idea that Gen Zs watched what their parents went through. Who were their parents? Their parents were millennials. And millennials were coming through an age and a generation whereby they were given a lot of promises by governments, by officials, who say, if you bring me into power, I will cause this to happen to you. And so they placed so much confidence and reliance in a system. But when they became loyal to the system betrayed their loyalty. All the channels that they were given to communicate, the channels they were given to air out their concerns, that dream job that was advertised, it all went with the wind. And so what happened is that these flies on the wall, and I use it in quotes, the Gen Zs were watching. And you're there and you're looking at how hard your parents are working to try and afford you some of the things that you have, and you're seeing how the system is treating them. So now when the tables have turned, and now we are telling the same young Gen Zs, you'll have to wait to follow the channel.
Wait for 2027.
They have a point of reference. Like, we saw the narrative and we know how this story ends. We are not willing to wait for that, because I think they also understood, and it was ingrained into them, that the reason why we have to show, and it is not really a matter of them trying to grab power, it's more a matter of them trying to call power to accountability. But the power that is existing has proven to them, we only respond to noise. You know, your parents were quiet. They wrote their letters, they wrote their emails, they did their silent protests, but nothing happened, because the power proved to them that we cannot be moved by silence. We will not be moved by emails. The systems we have, we do not regard them.
Even if we wait, nothing good will come out of it.
Exactly. So the Gen Zs come in, and they have to really make sure they are being heard. And I love the thing that you asked about, do we understand their language? And I honestly believe, for us to actually move forward with Gen Zs, especially in terms of governance and leadership, we need a connector. When you have a big gap, like a river, you don't hope that the river will part itself so that you can pass across. Your mind needs to think about a bridge. So even for the Gen Zs in leadership, and what leadership needs to look at when it's considering Gen Zs is a bridge. How do we get somebody from their end who will translate the language to us, who will help us understand what they are saying? Gen Zs don't have a problem following the system, but is the system faithful enough?
See, here's a question that sometimes we also ask ourselves. Gen Zs seem to speak a language that it is their clique that understands. So then the other generations are wondering, what are they saying? And so when you speak, and then there's action out of what you have spoken. So what you act is when what the rest of us are wondering. No, that's not how we want things done. So we're trying to loop in all the other generations to also understand what is being spoken, and then to act accordingly. Hence the problem that we seem to be having. And James, I want to bring into this conversation again. How do we bring in all the other generations to understand the language that the Gen Zs are speaking, and evoke the right action towards it? Because some of us will say we hear what they're saying, but when it comes to action, we're doing something totally different.
Thank you so much for this question. For me, I think it's high time for the older generation to bring in the Gen Zs. We heard what you are saying, but we just want you to explain it more for us to understand it, so that we can agree on way out, so that how can we help? So it's not about going on social media, TikTok, says all manner of things, but it's for you to have vision, and dedication to that your vision. And when you have something on the table and you know that it can work for other people, then you talk to the other generation. This is what we want. Despite the fact you think we are doing wrong, we are not. We are trying to open your eyes to see that this is our own generation, and this is what we expect from you to guide us to be relevant in the society we are living now. But if we think that these guys are saying rubbish, so we are not helping the issue. But it's just to bring them close and try to understand them better. Then it's not bad if the leader can say, okay, we understand, but are you capable to be able to work it out?
Emma is nodding. Emma, speak to us.
Yes, if they can, why not give them the opportunity and chance to do it? But the question is, are they ready to able to prove to their mate that yes, they are ready?
Emma, are you ready?
There is readiness that comes from education, formal education, and I advocate highly for education. There is readiness that comes with age, and there's a readiness that comes with experience, and there's readiness that comes with economic freedom, like having money and access to the things that you need. So there's readiness that we have access to, and even like physically having the energy to run around the whole day, we have the readiness for that.
Okay.
Yes. But the readiness we probably don't have is the readiness for maybe financially. I'll run around, but what am I eating at the end of the day? I am jobless. These opportunities are probably not there. I'm graduated. I don't have work, so I'm not ready. Maybe financially, but someone like Mr. James, maybe his generation is someone who's been working for years, and he cannot speak the language or run around in town, or you know, do all these things, but maybe he can be able to say, you know what, I hear your vision, I see you, and here's my contribution. Maybe the readiness of maybe Stefan is chair of the Christian Union and our spiritual chair of the school. Yes. And maybe his readiness will be to say, my strength is not to shout the loudest, though he has a very but maybe he can say, my readiness is to say, as you go, I cover you in prayer. Yes. Maybe, so everyone has something to contribute. Maybe even your readiness can just be to say, me, I cook good food. Mukimaliza, just come, me, I will give you food.
And the Gen Zs love food.
And maybe someone else will say, my readiness is I've been in leadership for long, and I have context of how the system is, and who to talk to, how to write the papers. So everyone, it has to be a combined effort. And one of the things I feel would have made the change that we are seeking to be more achievable is if I felt like, it might be my own opinion, but I hope other people resonate, that it was like the Gen Zs are going to fight for our country. The Gen Zs are going to hold our leaders accountable. Let's wait and see. But this is our country, all of us.
We should have all rallied behind.
So yes, everyone should have rallied and said, you know what, how can we, and I'm not by any chance advocating for people to go destroy people's property or to be chaotic and a menace, but I'm saying even for our leaders, it's an invitation for dialogue, for consideration, and for accountability. When Gen Zs say why, like for example, you say jump 10 times, Gen Zs will probably ask why. Your answer shouldn't be disrespect because I said so, because you know, it should be more like, because if you jump 10 times, you'll be strengthening your heart, something like that, and say, you know what, that makes sense. They jump. The thing that people struggle with is Gen Zs are asking why, and then they're translating it as disrespect or lack of honor or all those things. But what I'm saying is, it's an invitation for all the generations to say, you know what, the Gen Zs are having a vision. Do I believe in their vision? Yes. How can I make their dream become a reality? Yeah.
So it's the same thing. The Gen Zs in church now, where we are asking, why aren't you seeing the top clergy being more Gen Zs, more youth engaged and then kind of thing? So you're seeing the older generation sitting in those top seats in church, and the Gen Zs are sidelined, you know. So should they wait also, queue and wait for their turn when these old men are gone or have expired? Yeah, Musami, because you're in charge in Christian leadership.
I think one of the few realities that in church leadership we need to accept is, even through the Bible, we see patterns of leadership where an older, mature, much wiser leader would connect themselves to somebody younger. Are we talking about Moses and Joshua? Are we talking about Eli and Samuel? The reality is, you cannot do leadership without a consideration of future generation. It needs to always be in the forefront of your mind that the so-called vision that we are making is not necessarily for us alone. There are future generations that need to be considered. When we read through the Bible consistently, there is always a conversation. Even when God is introducing himself, he introduces himself as a God of generations.
Yes.
He does not just focus on one. There is the second, fourth, two continuous generations.
Yes.
And even when he brings in the plan of redemption through Jesus Christ, it was always to a future in mind. And all of us as a church, we look to that future. So when we are looking at the young generation of Gen Zs, we need to ask ourselves, in older, mature, wiser leadership, have we factored them in? To factor them in would mean consider what characterizes this generation. What does it mean to be a Gen Z in a postmodern society whereby there is relativism?
Yep.
There is emotionalism, whereby we say, my feelings are defining so much of my reality.
Yeah.
That is a reality for Gen Zs, that their emotions influence so much of their reality.
Yeah.
We need to accept that.
Yep.
We need to accept the fact that they have a sense of relativism in the way they view the world, in the sense that your truth might not be my truth. So how do we in church leadership walk with them to help them understand the absolute truth of Christ? How do we bring them to understand the absolute truth of God as the author of visions and ideas? The church needs to place the Gen Zs in a position of walking together rather than a specimen to be looked at through a microscope.
And you know, when we talk about Gen Zs in the church, we know they sit in the youth. Yeah, they're youth pastors, and then we wait for them to get married, start families, and then now we can be able to
usher them in.
Yeah, and Sharon is already laughing. Is this something you have seen? And why do you think that plays out a lot? Is it that we have the Gen Zs are not qualified to take up this leadership position? So why are they being sidelined in such spaces?
I think back to the way I said there's systems and ways of doing things, and one of them is, and some of them rather, are based on very fear-based beliefs, where you are like, I'm afraid that if it doesn't go like this, things will not work out. Like for example, there's a way we expect a leader to look like in church, and there's standard ways. There's like, of course, have integrity, of course, have a vision and all that. But if I look at you physically, like you're standing right in front of me, what are these things that we are setting ourselves up for that might deny us from actually experiencing talented leaders who might show up in a way that is unconventional? So even for something like this is so sensitive, but something like marriage, for example, marriage is beautiful and the family context is amazing, but there's usually the question of, people ask you why. Like for example, someone tells me, you know, Sharon, you should consider marriage very soon, and I'm like, okay, your opinion, I like it, but why? Because most people are just like, it's the normal thing. But
for you to be a church leader, you must be married.
Yes, but I mean, I don't think God, you'll guide me, you'll guide me. I don't know if it is a requirement, because we see quite enough examples in the Bible of people who they dedicated themselves to the service and the purpose of God's calling in their lives, and it's not celebrated all the time. So I think there's a lot of fear that we have, because we're like, the modern world is so scary, people might get lost in the world, so let us just focus, it's like control structures. But I feel like it's valid, but at the same time, we serve a God who is limitless. So why not provide the support that this person needs and guidance, rather than to just say, you know what, we are too nervous to give you freedom to live the purpose that you have, so we're going to just put cage to guide you.
James, you mentioned something that in your country, even finding single mothers leading church is a strange, almost non-existent. Talk to us about that marriage pressure, where, you know, for you to lead a church, for example, to be a pastor or to be an ordained minister, where is that coming from? And is it valid according to you?
Yeah, thank you so much. For me, I see it as a security for somebody serving in the vineyard of God. Marriage is one of the best things that ever happened to a man, and we thank God for that. I'm one of the person that actually advocating for young people to get married early, which is very important, because when you're a married person, people will respect you, even culturally. If somebody is married, people respect such people. So the fact that the Bible did not be specific that you must be married before you can lead a church, but we believe it is very, very important for somebody to be married, to be able to be pastor or lead other people. So, though the idea is not from the Bible, as I said. So, for me personally, I can ask myself, okay, if as a pastor I'm not married, you know, and I stand before people, preach the word of God, you can be this and that. Will these people really trust me, believe in me, that I'm somebody that is clean when it comes to spirituality? So when you are married, people will actually respect that. You are not rough guy going out after women, sleeping with women, and whatever. And even Paul said that if you can endure, you can even stay without marriage. It's more important because you have more time to serve the Lord. But if you cannot control yourself, it is better to get married. To be sincere, we are sexual beings.
Yeah, okay.
God created us as sexual beings. We need someone close to us. But then, for you to be able to serve God, you need to close that chapter and bring somebody that you can build a Christian family together that can serve the Lord.
Stefan, we're being told there's work that you need to do for you to have that image that Sharon was saying, present myself in a certain way. Because it looks like a culture interplay here where, the word of God is being used, yes, to, form you so you're mature enough to handle certain aspects of leadership. But there's also culture playing out here. Then there's also this Gen Z trend and, the way they do things. So then how do we then marry these whole things, not losing what is important in all these dichotomies?
I think one of the few most important things that we need to understand as a church and as a society is that it is not necessarily true that Christ is against culture. There are aspects of culture that believing and following Christ Jesus would mean you need to oppose them. You need to change them. But I believe that the heart of true church and true Christianity is a Christ who transforms culture, a Christ who redeems culture. We need to acknowledge the fact that there is a difference of generations. That's why they have different names. We have the baby boomers, we have the millennials, we have the Gen Zs, we have the alphas who are coming in, who are even more faster than the Gen Zs. These guys will ask you questions and you will wonder, what age are you? The reality is there are things that are unique for each particular generation. So rather than us trying to fight the culture, we need to understand how we can redeem the culture through Christ Jesus. How do we transform the culture through Christ Jesus? It first begins from a point of understanding what the culture is. So if for me as a youth leader, as a youth pastor, I stand before a congregation of millennials and they refuse to receive the message just because I stood on the pulpit wearing a jeans.
Ragged.
A ragged, and they prefer me to be in a suit without being aware that my very appearance has just hooked the entire generation of Z.
There's that side that they also have to look at.
Exactly. So sometimes when we are so caught up in the idea that you must be molded within the idea that we think is acceptable for a generation, we also need to put into consideration there's another generation that does not believe in what you believe in. So accept the generations as they come, know what they are, know what the culture is, then understand how do we redeem this culture? How do we look at it through the eyes of Christ? We were having a conversation with Sharon while we were coming, and she pointed out the fact that if Jesus came today, most probably he would be coming wearing jeans and a t-shirt, walking with young people and asking them, how is life so far? Because when we look at the Bible, the reality is that he really sat with the misfits of society. Those that were oppressed, those that were set aside. And that is what the church needs to learn how to do. We need to redeem the culture by first understanding the culture, accepting it, and then understanding, now, how do we fix what is broken? Because the truth is, not everything is broken.
Not everything is broken. In the society, in governance, in church, not everything is broken. So, but there's the need to find out what needs to be fixed and fix it. Wow. So we're going to wrap up this conversation with your final words. James, you want to start and tell us, what do you think the Gen Z currently needs to know to remain relevant in this generation that has all these other generations, not just the Gen Zs. And there's also the Alpha generation that Stefan has mentioned to us, that we also need to be cognizant to their needs.
All right, thank you so much once again. I think the Gen Zs must know that everything has its own time.
Okay.
So the fact that they have seen a wrong going on in our society, and they believe in themselves that this thing we can actually work on it, is something that can keep pushing.
Yeah.
But time will tell. Let them keep pushing, time will tell. And I so much believe that with age, whether we like it or not, in this world, there is death, retirement, age-wise will catch up with some of the leaders coming. So their time will just come.
It's coming.
But before that time, they must be prepared to be that agent of change that we have been praying for. Because it seems like most of the issues today going on, even in the government, there is this adage that people used to say, if you can't beat them, you can join them. So these people up there, are the Gen Zs ready to beat, or they will join these people? So my point here is, let them know that everything has its own time, and that time will surely come.
It will surely come.
And when it comes, then the floor will be for them to do what they wanted to do, or they want to do for the society. That's what I can say. Thank you.
Awesome. Sharon, what do you think?
My mind has many ideas, but I'll stick to one.
Okay.
So my parting shot for today's conversation is our greatest hope is education. Invest in education, read a book, pay for a course, join a school, sponsor a child, furnish a library, write a paper, publish books, do whatever you can, because everything around us can be taken away, but what we have in our minds cannot. And even though the change might not be imminent today for us, the best investment we can make to ensure and assure the future is by investing in the education of the generation to come.
Awesome. Well said. What do you think, Stefan?
For me, I think I'll speak to the leaders of the nation and the leaders of the church. Today we were doing an apologetics class with an awesome lecturer by the name of Danson. And this is the thing, a quote we read by an author called J.K. Smith said this: what we need is not another argument. What we need is another imagination. So for the leaders, we need to reimagine how we are dealing with our young generation. We need to reimagine what we think about successorship, what we think about the future in terms of governance. Like my brother James has said, we will not stay in power forever. So when Moses is dead, what will Joshua do? That's what I leave us with.
Wow, thank you for those final remarks. Samaila James from the Africa International University, Sharon Emma, Vice President Student Council at the African International University, and my very good friend Stefan Musembi from Sitam Vuruvura, I have to say that. Africa International University. Thank you so much for facilitating this conversation.
Thank you.
And your enriching words and your perspectives. We truly appreciate the time. My name is Melissa Oduor. Boniface Mureithi is on the sign language. He has been helping us throughout the newscast. On behalf of the production crew that made this possible, have a good night.